Welcome back, football fans. This is Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast brought to you by Big City Wings and Prize Picks. It's a me and Garrett show once again when the New York boy is missing. Maybe he'll be back for a week 4 preview. Who's to say? Who's to say where the New York boy
Who's to
is?
say? Who's to say, really? New York is kind of crazy up
I
there.
guess so.
You never know what he's getting into.
He's in the
Yeah,
concrete
you
jungle
never know what he's getting.
somewhere.
No, he might be lost.
Probably.
Might be lost. Well, when I visited him in May, he was like, "I still don't know how to get around." I'm like, "You've been here for almost a year, man. Like, you don't know how to get around?" He's like, "No, I don't really leave. Like, I don't know how to get to Times Square from here." I'm like, "Dude, come on, it's New York. What the fuck?"
It can't be that hard.
Oh well. I mean, hey, but that kind of explains why he's gone sometimes. He might be just missing. He might be just lost.
Yeah, I mean, I was in New York for maybe a week one time, spring break 2019, had a blast. Had a great time. I had the subway system figured out in a matter of hours.
Oh yeah, no, I had questions about it for sure. I rode it by myself when I was there for the first time. Big boy, you know, big man in New York in the Big Apple did subway, and I only had one question about it. I got on one wrong train at one
Yeah,
point.
no, it happens.
Texted someone that was living there, and I was like, so I'm on the wrong train, right?" And they were like, "Yes, get on this train instead."
There you go.
That was it. I was good after that.
Figured
So
it out. It's great.
yeah,
Everything's fine.
no, yeah, I got it figured out pretty quickly.
But Noah's lost. Out of commission. Maybe he's back for week 4 preview. We'll see. But week 3 was a disaster class across the board.
I hated this week of football. I hate it.
It was
I did not have a fun week of football.
disgusting. It was a lot of disgusting games. The early slate, including, the afternoon slate was a little bit better because you had a couple close games, but they weren't really close, really, technically, until the end. It's a gross
A
slate.
few comeback games, which is fun. That's cool. But when you're first watching them, you're like, these are terrible games. These are awful games.
Yeah, so we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on every game. We're going to go through every game real quick. We'll start off with your Texans and Vikings game. Yeah, what happened there?
Trash game. If you want to see our full reaction, outcome, our immediate reaction, I'd say go check out Off the Gridiron on our channel. Yeah, they just Vikings look really really good right now. Really good right now. I mean, they're obviously so well coached. The talent is just jumping off the screen, off the field. Sam Darnold cooking. What are you gonna do about it? Can't do much.
No, and we had some Vikings fans in the comments of our last episode, the preview for week 3. When we talked about Texans Vikings, obviously you were going to pick the Texans. I said it to toss up. Any team could win this game. It was very easily said in the podcast, and they were just coming after me for no reason because I said Sam Darnold was the number 2 pick, and he was actually the number 3 pick. Okay, he's a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. What does it matter for Vikings fans? I was giving you credit, and now I'm pissed off about it.
Dude, they were acting like we're the I said, man, I was hyping up the Vikings the whole time and Off the Gridiron. I was like, they're so well coached. Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, so good. Sam Darnold's cooking right now. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a close game. Hopefully, I'm gonna pick the Texans to win. And they all came after me like, how dare you doubt us? How dare you talk down on us? And I was like, so I said I said, oh, Justin Jefferson, they beat him over the top. They beat the top of the defense, 97-yard touchdown. Yep. Actually, it was a broken coverage slant route. And I'm like, I was hyping y'all up. I was like saying like, hey, I'm scared of that happening. I don't want that to happen. And they're like, actually, it wasn't even the right play, idiot. So I don't know. You know what? We'll see. We'll see what the Vikings.
Man, imagine being a Vikings fan and being in the NFL since the inception of the NFL in the late 60s. You were part of the original crew in the NFL, the Super Bowl era. You're a part of it, and you have exactly 0 Super Bowl titles to show for it.
I mean, the Texans have 0 too.
But you showed up in, 2002?
Yeah. No,
40 years after?
It's y'all are grandpa. Y'all are a grandpa franchise. And we're just the young bucks ready to go. I'm older than the Texans.
Yeah.
We're older than the Texans. So like y'all are a grandpa franchise with 0 success rate. And now you get Sam Darnold and you think you can't be touched. You think your shit don't stink. It's crazy.
I literally called Sam Darnold Tom Brady like 3 episodes in a row. Like this is just what he is. That's what he is. He's Tom Brady now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense how they will. I think Jordan Love's going to play this weekend. We'll see about the Vikings.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm praying on their downfall. I don't know. I don't. I like the
You
Vikings. That's what I said in the episode. I was like, I enjoy the Vikings, and like their fans are fun. Their fans are not fun anymore. So let's bring a close to that. But of course, they blew us
Yeah.
out. So
34-7, Vikings win against the Texans in Minnesota. We'll move on to my game. It's an afternoon game, but Seahawks,
I
Dolphins.
don't
We
want
don't
to
have
hear
to
it. I
talk
don't
about
want.
it. Seahawks won 24-3. Skylar Thompson is quite possibly the worst quarterback I've ever seen play for the Miami Dolphins in like my era of watching Miami Dolphins football. And I've gone through Cleo Lemon, Gus Farrell,
Yeah,
Chad Henne, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Moore. Jay Cutler was my quarterback for a while. Brock Osweiler was my quarterback for half a season or
did that,
so.
bro? Did that, bro? We
Josh
know about
Rosen
that.
was there. Just the list keeps going on and on and on and on. And that was quite possibly the worst quarterback play I've ever seen.
It wasn't good. I wasn't watching it at all.
I wouldn't.
But I watched the highlights back, and it was not good. Seahawks have a really good defense. They looked good defensively, but I mean, I think really it was on Skylar Thompson really, for the
I
most
think it was
part.
Skyler and Mike McDaniel. So the Seahawks have the worst run defense in the NFL. They've given up the most yards running. We ran the ball 18 times against the Seahawks, which is the least that we've run it this entire season, with Tua at quarterback in the first game and a half or game and three quarters. Like, why are we just not running the ball when you have
You would
just a
you would
plethora of
think
running backs to use?
you would think that'd be the game
Yeah,
plan. Like, hey, let's just run the ball 30 times a game now. Let's do wildcat formations. Let's kind of make sure Skylar Thompson doesn't throw the ball that much because I mean, what happens is he'll do something crazy because he's a crazy not talented quarterback. Um, so I don't really know the game plan. I'm not gonna leave you to it
yeah.
talking about your team. I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to kick you while you're down.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't play Snoop Huntley, like if he doesn't start on Monday night against the Titans, I don't know if I'll be watching until Tua comes back. Like that's how bad it is right now, and I have
Worst game in
zero
the
faith in this
NFL.
team if they play Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, y'all have the Titans who are awful and they're abysmal and they're terrible. So maybe there's hope there for Skylar Thompson to make a few throws, win the game. I don't know,
He's
but
hurt, so I don't know.
it's y'all about to be in must-win territory with Skylar Thompson, and I'm sorry.
It's not
I'm
good.
sorry.
It's not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
Um,
sorry.
Chargers Steelers back to the afternoon slate or the early afternoon slate. Chargers Steelers. Steelers win 20-10. Justin Herbert goes out with his ankle injury again. He had a high ankle sprain last week and got another one during the game. Left the game. And apparently, Taylor Heineke is the backup quarterback in Los Angeles. Had no idea until he came in. I was like, "Who's number 8?" Had to look it up. Had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. I was in the same boat as you. I was like, who even is their backup? Saw him. I was like, it's Heineke. Oh shit. All right. I didn't know they acquired him, but maybe with all the health stuff with Herbert, who's been dealing with health stuff since the beginning of training camp, like maybe they're like, we need to. I mean, they definitely did it because of
Yeah,
that, but it was a disappointing game because of the injury. I feel like obviously the Chargers would have made it closer in the second half if Herbert would have played the whole time. But all credit to the Steelers really for being 3-0. Justin Fields playing pretty well, defense playing well. Steelers look pretty good right now.
yeah. And everyone's talking about Joe Alt. Joe Alt Delete has his new nickname. Control Alt Delete. Pretty good nickname as your right tackle.
Yeah, great name, great nickname.
It's a
Yeah,
great nickname. Welcome to the NFL, bud. Here's TJ Watt. He was
yeah.
cooking Joe Alt until he went out.
People were like on his ass, like Joe Alt's ass, like, oh, what? This is a top 10 pick. Oh, and I'm like, he's pass blocking JJ or TJ Watt, dude, who's might be better than JJ Watt.
Yeah,
So like, can't cut him some fucking slack, dude. It's his third game in the NFL, man.
that was impressive. Justin Fields made some throws across the middle, which they weren't allowing him to do the first couple of games of the season. And now they're just riding Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is officially the backup. Even if he comes back healthy, they're going to ride Justin Fields until the wheels fall off. Not bad for now. I mean, you got 3 wins. Pretty good. They're at
Three
the top
wins.
of the AFC North, which no one expected by at least a game or 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's the 0-3 Bengals, the 1-2
Yeah.
Ravens, the 1-2 Browns, and there's the 3-0 Steelers. Yeah, I thought the Steelers would be good. I thought they would be solid because they were 10-7 last year with a plethora of terrible
Yep.
quarterbacks. And then I was like, oh, Russell Wilson is an upgrade over all those guys. they're going to be fine. They're going to be good. Maybe 10 or 11 wins. I think they're surprised some people. The big surprise to everyone is no, Russell out, Justin in. Justin playing well, pretty good. I would
Yeah.
not elite, but he's playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Surprise! It's a surprise to me. It's a surprise to me. But I mean, Mike Tomlin is just one of them guys, man. He's just such a good coach. So
Now here's a guy.
he's gonna make it work, man. He's gonna make it
Now
work.
here's a guy.
Now here's a guy who doesn't ever have losing seasons. So why would he have a losing season with two fine
Yeah,
quarterbacks?
completely average, if not even below average. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably the grossest game of the week. Eagles at Saints in New Orleans, 15-12. Eagles take home the win on a late score. Dallas Goedert had 170 yards.
That's
Why?
crazy.
Devontae Smith died on the field, basically. He got concussed. His head literally fell off. Like his helmet just flew.
Yeah. He got crunched. He got crunched.
It was a
big
dirty play,
time.
but
It was a dirty play, and they allegedly even spit on him when he was on the ground. So that's them dirty Saints.
That's New Orleans Saints football, baby.
It really is. It really is.
Welcome back, Sean Payton.
Going back. Yeah, welcome back, Rob Ryan or whoever it was. Yeah, we said it on last week's preview episode. We didn't know what to expect with this game. I guess we should have expected a disgusting mess of a game.
This was like the last thing I would have expected. A 15-12 game, a field goal fest.
Field goal fest. The Eagles had two red zone turnovers, two turnover and downs in the red zone. Like bad, just bad. The Eagles were in control pretty much the whole game, and the Saints were defensively making it tough for the Eagles to move the ball. But the Eagles, I mean, if they just finish those drives, this is a blowout. Saints, fraud watch, under surveillance.
If they had just let Saquon Barkley run, he ran 17 times for 147 yards, 8.6 yards per carry. Jalen Hurts threw 38 times in the game with an interception and no touchdowns. Why wouldn't you just let Saquon run 30 times? And that game would have never been close.
I don't know. They think they still have the top 5 quarterback they thought they had with Jalen Hurts. So they're like, hey, Jalen, make plays. And he's like, okay, end zone pick. It's like, what are you fucking doing, man? I mean, I have Jalen Hurts in fantasy, and I'm consistently like, what are we doing?
Did you put him on the block already in the Apollo League? Someone else did,
because
maybe.
my backup, I mean, I guess I just picked up Aaron Rodgers, and like I think Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good the other night.
Whatever.
So I don't know. I think he might be a better option than Jalen Hurts right now, especially since A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are both out for who knows how long. So, I mean, the Eagles winning games like that is not sustainable for them. They're going to fall off big time again because, like, that's how they're playing at the end of last year. Can't move the ball.
Yeah.
Defensively gave up. I mean, defensively they were fine, but they used to give up chunk plays. Nick Sirianni, watch out.
It's one of the games that your team wins, but you feel like they lost. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened with them, for sure.
Broncos, Buccaneers. Broncos win 26-7. I have no earthly clue what happened.
I don't either. I kept looking up, and I'd be like, "Oh, the Broncos are in the red zone again."
They went up 14-0 within a few minutes of the game starting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe just defensively they matched up well to the Bucs offense.
I guess.
I don't know. I have no idea. But what a weird way for Bo Nix to get his first NFL win when no one expected it. Again, going into Tampa after they just beat the Detroit Lions in Detroit, they just kind of dominated them. That was definitely hey, Buccaneers, maybe they're not as good as we thought they were last week.
Yeah, they shut Mike Evans down. I think he only had 2 catches for minimal yards. It wasn't a lot. They obviously have Patrick Surtain on the other side of the football, so it's pretty good CB1 to have shut down your top wide receiver. Pretty good. Bucky Irving, pretty sick. I like him for the Buccaneers, but they just didn't score any points, and the Broncos somehow scored 26. It just didn't make sense. I had it on Red Zone, so I wasn't watching the full game, but weird game.
It was a weird game. I really think it was more of like Buccaneers game plan fell flat. Broncos game plan exploded, and this wouldn't happen again. Like between the two teams, the Buccaneers would handle them, but It's just one of those weird games where one team was way off, the other team was, oh, Bo Nix is running around and making
Yeah.
plays. So I mean, also Bo Nix. I mean, what an enigma, really. What a phenom. Like he's just runs around and makes plays. But then I look at his stat, and he was winning the game yesterday,
Yeah.
or excuse me,
Sunday.
this on Sunday. And you look at his stat line, you're like, he's not doing well at all.
No,
So what's going on here?
it's
Like, why is he winning this
the
game?
strangest thing ever. I remember watching his first ever college football game in 2019. I was a senior at Mississippi State, so obviously I'm tuned into the SEC football. Got an early game that day. Worked for the athletic department, so I had an early Mississippi State game. Was able to come home, watch the late game, Oregon versus Auburn. He comes back, he wins the game. Big Dick Nicks is what they were calling him. They had the T-shirt, they had everything. It
And
somehow
this was
he
a
lasted
million
as
years
long
ago.
as he did at Auburn, and was like, this. It was Jekyll and Hyde. Like he's going to do the same thing every game, and sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it's going to lose. And then he goes to Oregon, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's pretty fucking good. Turns out playing the Pac-12 may have helped. You're not playing the SEC guys anymore, but
I think so, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Bo Nix is crazy. Another quarterback that's pretty crazy. The Malik Willis Bowl. Packers, Titans. Packers win 30-14. The Titans just are they the most
They're bad.
hilarious football team in the NFL?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I knew this going into the
Yep.
season. They were built. They were obvious. They were like, oh, let's get Calvin Ridley. Oh, let's trade for Snead from the Chiefs. Oh, let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm like, guys, you have Will Levis.
Let's fix
You
that
have Will
first.
Levis. People were saying Titans are actually having a A+ offseason, and I'm like, oh, winning the offseason. Okay, been there, bud. Been there. Okay, doesn't mean shit. You have Will Levis. You have Will Levis, who is terrible. He is terrible, and he's continually making hilarious plays. He's the funny. He might be the funniest quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Might be the funniest quarterback. He's a meme
He,
factor.
he threw 26 for 34, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. You're like, okay, only 8 incompletions with throwing the ball 34 times. That's pretty fucking good. 2 of those incompletions ended up being picks. He's just
One of them, a bad pick six.
really bad pick
Like
six.
you just the pick six that he like you just as an NFL a starting NFL quarterback cannot make that throw. Wow, that's bad. It's just terrible across the board. And also shouts Malik Willis, man, because I liked him kind of out of the
He
draft.
did.
I really did. I was like, hey man, I kind of hope the Texans can maybe pick him up and see what's up. Texans would have ruined him. Titans almost did ruin him. Goes to the Packers. Matt LaFleur does wonders for
Yeah.
you. So
He only threw the ball
yeah,
like
I mean,
19 times, had 200 yards. I think he had a couple touchdowns, and then he ran the ball for 70 something yards and a touchdown. Like, okay, pretty good.
yeah, obviously he was having a blast going off against the Titans, and I was like, shouts, man. The Titans are a terrible franchise to play for, and I feel for you. Now you're with the awesome organization, the Packers, doing well, having fun until your starter gets back.
What a
So good for Malik
what a
Willis.
concept, having a backup quarterback that you took a chance on, just to have on the roster, really, in case your quarterback goes down. Maybe you have an athletic being that can sit back there and throw the ball, maybe run the ball around, spend a little bit of money on him, a couple $1,000,000, if that, since he was a second round pick, and they probably got some of his salary covered because it was already guaranteed before then. I don't know. It just seems like a wonderful concept that might work out.
Yeah, no, I mean it seems like it could work based on other statistics in history. So
It's unbelievable. I hate the Dolphins. The
yeah. Sorry, man.
Toilet Bowl, Giants, Browns. Giants win 21-15. It was another disgusting game, but Malik Neighbors is the youngest wide receiver ever to have 2 touchdowns in a game. It's like
It was
21
that
in
Bugatti.
56 days.
It was that Bugatti under that, like, you know, that meme of the Bugatti under the
Yeah,
carpool,
yes.
and it's like next to a shitty like trailer house. Like it was this is that game. The Bugatti was Malik Neighbors. He's awesome.
His catches were
He is
unreal too.
he's just his catch radius is insane. He's just got great hands, great route tree. Just sucks that he plays on the Giants with Danny Dimes, who is a criminal, who is a terrorist.
Yeah, and
I want to make that
Malik Neighbors is a terrorist to me. Signing day, he's in high school. He's a senior, 17, 18 years old. He's probably actually 16 or 17 years old since he's only 21 right now. He's committed to Mississippi State. He's about to sign for Mississippi State.
Oh man, you gotta let that.
No. He had no other hats there. He was committing to Mississippi State. He's a Mississippi boy. He was coming. He's going to be a state. He was going to be a Bulldog. He's going to be my guy. you know. And LSU calls him right before he goes on stage to sign with Mississippi State and offers him. And he called the whole
I don't
thing
know. How do
off
you
and
say
went to
no?
LSU.
How do you say no to LSU? That's wide receiver university,
No, I
basically. How do you say no to
I
LSU?
believe in men of their words, and just stand pat to that, and sign that piece of fucking paper. But no, 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 no. He went to LSU.
No, dude. I don't care. I don't care if I don't care if I made a blood oath to join the team. If LSU's calling, I'm like, fuck, fuck you, dude. I'm going to Louisiana,
I think
buddy.
he's actually from Louisiana, so that made perfect sense why he was going there. But whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck Malik
you
Neighbors.
said Mississippi boy, and I was like, is he from this? Can we fact check
No, I
that?
think he's
I'm not.
actually from Louisiana and was just committed to state the
Okay.
whole time. Because we get all the leftovers, and then if LSU comes calling on signing day, they always flip. So it's the worst.
Can't blame
It's
him.
the worst.
But he's going off now for the
Yeah,
Giants, of
he's sick.
course, and the Browns are terrible because they have a terrible quarterback.
And
The
now Miles
number
Garrett's
4
hurt.
is actually Miles. I didn't know
Yeah,
that Miles Garrett's
he,
hurt. That's terrible for
I
them.
think he's got some feet issues. I don't know if it's plantar fasciitis or what it is, but I think he might be out next couple of weeks taking care of that. I don't know. So not great if you're a Browns fan. Never has been,
Yeah,
but
no. Well, I mean, your biggest mistake was betraying your moral compass and signing Nasty Man to the insane deal, trading your entire franchise for him. That was your
yeah,
mistake. And you know what? I will never let the Browns fans fucking forget that they had like mannequins on massage tables at their like tailgates and shit, and like with shirts saying like massage this and all that, and I'm like, they're like
is
mocking
like a happy
the
ending
victim.
illegal or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, or something like that, like and shit like that. And I was like, I'll never let y'all forget
no,
that. And also, a lot of them talk shit to Baker when he left, like, oh, he couldn't get it done. Maybe this criminal can get it done for us. I'll never let y'all forget that,
yeah.
dude. I'll never let y'all forget
Speaking
that.
of
I don't sympathize with
No,
y'all.
speaking of Nasty Man and trading for him, Brian Flores tried to do that, and a lot of Dolphins fans right now are being Brian Flores apologists after the first 3 weeks of this season, which didn't happen at all last year. Last year it was just dogging on Brian Flores, and now they're like, "Oh, look at Brian Flores, best defense in the NFL. Oh, we could have had him as our head coach." Brian Flores was a problem. He was a great defensive-minded head coach. He had the defense riled up, like they were good. Wanting to trade your entire future for Deshaun Watson, nasty man, number 4, automatically disqualifies you from being a good head coach.
Okay, yes,
When you're the one
yes,
orchestrating the
but
trade and trying to get it done, and no one else in the building's like, I don't
I
think so.
we also thought at the time like, oh, Deshaun is still an MVP candidate.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, like we all thought that. It was really the contract the Browns gave him that I was like, all right, what are we doing, guys? This is crazy. This is insane. I
230.
actually I don't want to go off on a little tangent here, but I was watching a video. Basically, Bill Belichick was like, he was explaining why Deshaun is playing so poorly right now, and he says the reason why he was playing so well in Houston is because Bill O'Brien basically remade the Clemson offense for him.
Eh,
He basically took the Clemson offense and put it onto their playbook and was like, you used to ball out with the Clemson offense. We're going to give you that offense. Now he's playing in Stefanski's offense, who is an actual NFL tested
yeah,
offense. It's good. He won Coach of the Year last year, and he just can't do it. Can't understand it. Can't make the throws. He's not confident. Obviously, that's what Bill Belichick said, and I'm like, shit.
makes sense.
Unless I guess if he's not playing a college offense, he can't do it.
Maybe Clemson quarterbacks aren't good. Just,
Maybe Clemson
maybe
quarterbacks
they're the
aren't
Ohio State
good.
quarterbacks that we've been dogging on all these years.
I mean, Trevor is not looking
We'll
great.
get to him. We'll get to him.
Taj Boyd never panned out. Cade Klubnik or whatever is not going to pan out. So, yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's the problem all along. Bears, Colts, another nasty game, 21-16. Colts take home the win. Is it too early to talk about Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
Okay. We'll avoid that
Because it's
then.
looking
Caleb Williams just
because
does not look comfortable at all.
well, he doesn't, and I'm like, I think Matt Eberflus is gone, buddy. He's gone, and Shane Waldron is gone, buddy. And they need to overhaul that offensive line. because they gave him all the weapons in the world in the offseason. They're like, let's get the terrible DeAndre Swift. Let's draft Rome Odunze instead of Joe Alt. Let's trade for Keenan Allen and all that. You should be great. You should be set up to be the best Bears QB in franchise history. But forgot the offensive line. They forgot the coaches are idiots. So they're doing that, and it kind of looks like the Commanders are competent in their coaching. What? So think it is too early. And Caleb, he did have a bad game, but it was better than his first two
Yeah,
games.
yeah, I guess. It is dumbfounding to me as a talk show host. You know, we have this podcast. We watch ball. We're pretty in depth with our ball watching and our knowledge and all that kind of stuff. Football is won in the trenches, your defensive line and your offensive line. If you can build
Absolutely.
those out, you have a chance to win NFL games week in and week out because the other athletes are just too good. Like you can win football games. When your GM is a previous offensive lineman, he was the offensive lineman for Matt Ryan at Boston College. He got cut by the Bears on cut day, I believe. That's what they said on Hard Knocks. As an offensive lineman, wouldn't you be worried about the offensive line? Like more than almost anything outside of your quarterback on your roster, like your offensive line has to be built.
If you're getting paid, if I'm paying you, like you to do that.
Correct.
I'd like you to do your job.
And obviously this goes back to the Dolphins, but like how are you looking at an offensive line and be like, yeah, that's fine. That'll be okay. That's good enough. It's never good enough.
I mean,
Always go get
no,
like
it's
the
not.
Eagles. They win all these fucking games because their offensive line is insane.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, the Cowboys in like 2014, reason why they were just so good, maybe could have gone to the Super Bowl. Mine, Dez caught it. I will admit it. He
He did.
caught it. Uh, I mean, the offensive line was just amazing. They moved the entire defense every single game. That's because they just went out and they're like, how can we just perfect our offensive line? Let's focus on that. The Bears just didn't do
They're
that.
like Keenan
They
Allen.
didn't do
That's
that.
the issue. We need it. We
Yeah,
need
they're
Keenan Allen in here.
like let's draft Rome Odunze. That'll make us playoff team. That'll make us a playoff team. I just don't understand the offseason logic now because I honestly was like, hey man, they're building something there. Nah, man, they still have two glaring holes. And without your offensive line, you just have no run game. DeAndre Swift is terrible with them. He can't run the ball. They're Caleb is in a terrible situation. And I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be in the worst
We did.
situation.
We said that in preseason. DeAndre Swift has more carries of negative yards than he has of positive yards this season in 3 games.
That is not good. That is not good at
Not
all.
great.
Wow.
Another strange game. Panthers Raiders. Panthers win 36-22. Andy Dalton starts. Bryce Young got benched. Andy Dalton just started slinging it everywhere. It was a blowout. The Raiders made it a little bit closer in the fourth quarter, but it was a blowout. It was a blowout.
Hey, teams, bench your quarterback.
Yeah, just fucking do it.
I was gonna say this about the Colts and Bears, and I'll tie it into Panthers and Raiders. Do you think that the offense in Indianapolis would run so much better if they had Joe Flacco as quarterback?
We saw what
I
happened with
think
the Browns last season. The answer is yes. Like,
yes.
absolutely.
Like, don't be afraid to bench your quarterback if he's struggling. Anthony Richardson, terrible. He's awful right now. He's struggling. Can't make consistent basic throws. He can't make the basic throw, really. He's just throwing picks. He's inaccurate. He's just a big guy who can do flips right now. Put in Joe Flacco, that would change things. They were looking at the coaching staff was looking at Bryce Young like he can't move the offense. We need a guy who can move the offense. Bench him. We'll take the fire. We'll take the arrows. We'll take everyone on right now because everyone's gonna be calling bullshit.
Yeah,
Andy Dalton balls out. Of course he does.
naturally. Yeah, no, it was a strange game because the Raiders just beat the Ravens. So, like, you should be able to come in and beat the worst roster, arguably, in football right now in the Panthers. And the Panthers, Andy Dalton said, no, not today. Not today, my friend. This is my game. Threw for 3 touchdowns, like 300 yards. So you did the whole
He
thing.
was balling out, dude. He was balling out. He's like, people were like, "Oh wow, look what Bryce Young couldn't do." And I'm like, honestly, a lot of these quarterbacks can't make the throws that Andy Dalton was making in that game.
Yeah.
That touchdown throw to Adam
Oh, it
Thielen,
was incredible.
I was like, I mean, that just people were like, "See, Bryce Young can't do that." I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe half the league can't make that throw right
Yeah,
now.
and on that
That's
throw,
crazy. That's a
Adam Thielen got hurt and he's out. He's on IR. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is tough. That is, I mean, when it rains, it pours for the
Yeah,
Panthers.
but I mean, they won, so good for them. They're not going to go winless. We thought they might go winless if they just started Bryce Young every game. There was one game. It was against the Giants. We were
I
like,
thought,
that might be the one.
yeah, no, I mean, good for them because they are trying to win games. They're not trying to tank. As an NFL franchise, you have to win games. The coaching staff was like, we're not going to win in a game with Bryce Young. We're not going to win a single goddamn game with
It's
Bryce Young. We
unfortunate.
need to start the red rifle. Yeah. So shout out Andy Dalton. They, you know what? Bryce Young had to feel like a dipshit
Oh,
on the
100%.
sideline. Oh, in like when the video, I saw the video of them like hyped in the locker room, like mobbing Andy Dalton
Mhm.
and all that, and the coach, like Canales, was, hanging out and like giving game balls out. Bryce Young was probably just in the back, like giving a golf clap.
Sitting in his locker,
Like,
just
yeah,
pouting.
golly, it had to been. Yeah, you have to be a good sport after that. That's insane. I would feel like shit.
We'll move on to Jerry World. Ravens at Cowboys. Ravens win 28-25. This game was a blowout until the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, Dak Prescott just started throwing touchdowns, which he should have been doing the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in the Cowboys anymore, and I don't know if I have
Yeah.
a ton of faith in the Ravens still, but we'll see.
The Ravens, they look questionable for sure because they almost blew it, and the Cowboys have the fattest, dumbest coach of all
Yeah.
time in NFL
Mhm.
history, and they're soft. They're a soft team. The window is shutting so fast on them right now, and it's really just because I feel like coaching failed the team. They have failed the team. This is not a bad team on
No,
paper. Their coaching is the culture is failing up there in Southern Oklahoma.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn
He
was
left,
hey,
and now the
Dan
Commanders are
Quinn
good.
left, and now they're giving up 6 yards of pop on the carry. So like,
Mr.
but
Dez in the office has always said Dan Quinn was great until the playoffs started, and that was fine. That works. You get to the playoffs every year, and it's fine by me. I would love to get to the playoffs every year and win a game. That'd be
yeah,
sick.
no, I don't care if I don't care if I'm a wild card shutout every year. I don't care as long as I'm getting to the postseason.
I have hope
So,
heading into that one game in January, and it's gonna be sick. And then it falls apart. Yeah, sure, but
the wheels fall
who's
off
to say?
quick. Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yeah. The Ravens still look questionable.
Yeah.
Lamar looks fed up with this team. He looks fed up with his team playing around him. Offensive line sometimes is questionable. They were better this game because the I don't know what the Cowboys are doing on
I have
defense.
no idea.
Truly, they were not even trying to stop the run. It was truly amazing. After the game, I don't know if you saw this. Marlon Humphrey hops on IG
I saw
Live,
that.
starts filming everyone on the plane. He goes, "Oh, Lamar, like, what do you have to say about that win?" And Lamar just looks so pissed. He's like, and then he gives him, he's like, man, it's a great win. Oh, we went out there and you shouldn't even be on live right now. And then he was like, oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. He said, yes, sir, and all that. And I was like, Lamar was like, bro, we almost just went 0-3.
Yeah.
Why are you on IG Live right now, man? That's why we're almost 0-3.
I met Marlon Humphrey in high school.
Seems like a fun guy, but sometimes you got to turn the fun off.
Yeah.
You gotta turn the fun off and mean business. And that moment was like wow, guys. I mean, we almost didn't win that. Let's look at film instead of getting on IG Live. Let's talk about the game plan and all that and like where it went wrong at the end of the game. Hopping on IG Live and have your quarterback tell you on IG Live you shouldn't be on IG Live. He sunned you. He got sunned. That's a bad look.
Yeah. We'll get to that game about sunning someone. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan Bowl. It's the Shanahan Tree Bowl. 49ers Rams. Rams came back and won 27-24. That game was a blowout in the fourth quarter. It was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, my Rams Super Bowl pick looks so fucking stupid right now. So dumb. So dumb. And then all of a sudden they end up coming back, winning the game 27-24. And after the game, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they have the midfield hug, handshake, whatever. And as they're walking away, Sean McVay, much shorter than Shanahan, palm right on the head.
Which I know in real time that had to been like a
Just a little
love you,
slap,
bud,
yeah.
but the picture that it produced, amazing.
Because Shanahan's
It just
walking
looked-
away, McVay's looking right at him when he's right on the head. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, and can you imagine if that hand had that ring on it? laying his head down. His head would be like this,
Mm,
tilted to the side with that
mm,
Super Bowl
mm,
ring on
mm.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no, it produced a funny picture, and also what Sean McVay did
yeah,
is, I mean, he's such a good
I
coach,
love him.
such a good coach. I just couldn't believe they pulled it out at the end. Kyron Williams putting the team on. They needed someone to come up big. Kyron Williams came up huge for
Yeah,
them at the end of the game. Just needed someone to come up big, and your running back did. So 3 total touchdowns for him. So yeah, no, the Rams, as long as they can keep that up, just great coaching and a few guys stepping up. When they get their guys back, watch out.
if they could just get
Watch out.
half their offensive line back, I have a lot of faith. That's
Yeah,
the issue right now.
no, yeah, it's just the health is right now is just insane over
Yeah,
there.
losing your 2 wide
Insane
receivers
health.
is rough.
Yeah, and they're real good too. They're real good wide receivers. Like having Tyler Johnson as your number one right now is tough.
Yeah, it's rough, but they squeak out the win, a division win, if that at SoFi in LA. So, it was a home game for the
Looked like
49ers, but
Yeah, I'm about to say it looked like San Francisco,
it was
but
San
in the stands,
Francisco. It was all red in there.
crazy red. Yeah, that was in. I mean, what are the LA fans doing? Are LA is LA even? Does LA is LA like football? I'm so
So,
confused.
LA is a Laker town. So, Lakers games
I
reside
I
over
guess they're a
everything, and
Lakers
then
and
it's also
Dodgers
a
now.
Dodger town because people like to go to Dodgers games for Dodger dogs, which I heard are not even that good. Um, but they don't even
I
care
would
about
eat
the
one.
Dodgers. That's the issue. They only care about the Lakers. That's it. That's all they care about.
I guess that makes sense. Bron's there, but I mean, dude, you got a football team that won the Super Bowl a few years ago, man. Come
And now
on,
you got
it's
Harbaugh in
great.
the same building. Like, be better, LA. Be better.
Yeah, be better at football, man. Or be better at liking
Yeah,
football. That's crazy,
that'd be great.
crazy.
Last game of the afternoon slate on Sunday: Lions Cardinals. Lions win 20-13. It was a good game. It was gross, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a little more high
I thought it was going to be a
scoring.
shootout.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a shootout as well, like 34-31.
Yeah.
Kicked by a field goal. But I mean, Lions, it was a get right game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the Cardinals are not as good as them, and they knew that, and they're like, we have to beat them because we just lost a game, and we can't keep losing games if we're going to be a Super Bowl
Yeah.
contender. So get right game for them. They got right. Jared Goff played okay. Run game looked great as well as always. Just keep running the ball, baby.
Yeah. My favorite play from this game was
Cardinals are fun. They're stinky fun.
my favorite play from this game was they're like in the red zone. I think they're on the 10-yard line or so, and there's a Texas route. Jameer Gibbs, wide open. No one's even considering covering him. He's like on the 2-yard line. There's no within 5-6 yards of him. Like, it's an easy touchdown. It's an easy throw, easy catch. Just walks right in. Jared Goff throws it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is blanketed, just absolutely covered. And he kept his number one wide receiver happy. And that marks the true character and the true testament in the brain of a good quarterback, Jared Goff. Keep your wide receiver one happy. Get him with a little touchdown. Your running back will be fine. He'll get his touches, but you got to keep wide receiver one happy. And that's what he did. And then Amon-Ra had a great celebration. The little fetch the toy. They threw the ball.
Oh
and
yeah,
yeah.
I liked it a lot. I like Amon-Ra, man. People were calling him corny after that show.
No, I liked him.
Nah, I think he's cool. As a Gibbs owner in fantasy, I didn't that. I thought that was bullshit. I understand the logic, I guess, but I'm like, throw it to just make the easy pass to Jameer, man. Come on, like that would have been. He would have had like 25 points after that. But whatever, man. Lions are good. Cardinals are going to be good. That's all I got for this game.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, they're going to be good soon. They're going to be good soon as long as they can shore up that defense.
Yeah, maybe it's a next season thing. Maybe we go like 500-ish this season, see what happens, and then you add some people in free agency, get the draft in, and then all of a sudden, looking a little frisky next year.
Happened with us.
Yeah,
so.
it could happen. Moving on to the primetime games, Chiefs, Falcons in Atlanta. Chiefs win 22-17. There was more ref talk about the Chiefs, and I'm over the ref talk. Bill Simmons was even talking about it. He's like, has anyone had this kind of whistle since I believe it was Shaq in the early 2000s on the Lakers? Like, Bill Simmons, let's just be a little self-aware here. You were a Patriots fan, or you are a Patriots fan, and you had this same treatment for 20 something years. Let's calm the fuck down.
Yeah, like shut up. Also, like, dude, it happened. The thing is that the Chiefs are under a microscope for everyone. They're under a microscope for everyone. Everyone wants the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the biggest target on their back right now. So yeah, everyone gets calls go their way. It happens. So when the Chiefs get a call go their way, everyone is like, "What? This always happens with Pat Mahomes and Taylor Swift." And it's like it happens with every team. You're just paying too much attention to the Chiefs. Shut the fuck up.
And
Damn it, it's
I
annoying.
do want to mention this. I don't know if you saw it. I think it was a few weeks ago. Todd McShay, former ESPN employee, I think he's going to be a Ringer employee pretty soon with his relationship with Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo. He was on the Russillo show. And I watched this TikTok. It was last night. I watched it. And it was like 3 minutes long. And it was a full rant. Ryan Russillo said 0 words. So McShay is just sitting there. And I could see Russillo's eyes just begging him to stop speaking about this. He's talking about Travis Kelce. How he came into camp out of shape. He's out there partying at the U.S. Open. He's drinking with Taylor Swift. He's got the most famous person in the world probably right now as his girlfriend. Like, he's just living life. He's on tour in the offseason. Like, let him fucking live. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, you know? He's older. He's like,
Yeah,
what, 34, 35? Like,
something
he's
like
up
that.
there
Yeah.
now. And, let him enjoy the life. He's earned it. And he was calling him out. He came in out of shape, and everyone's bitching about him not getting play calls anymore. He's not getting open. He's not getting the receptions. He's not getting targets. That's okay. The Chiefs are winning football games. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter about your fantasy team. It doesn't matter about your favorite player. If your team is winning football games, it doesn't matter. And McShay was just going in on the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing, and Ryan Russillo's eyes were just like, please stop. I don't want
Yeah,
Swifties in my
no,
mentions right now.
it's also, I mean, dude, like the people are gonna keep saying that until Travis Kelsey has like 100-yard game with 2 touchdowns against the team, and they basically beats them on
In the
his own.
playoffs.
And then we're gonna be like, yeah. And then in the playoffs, they're gonna just like Travis Kelsey is gonna be 8 receptions a game, just he's unstoppable. And it's like, oh, remember when everyone in September was calling him fat and stuff, and saying he's like lazy? Like, oh, I remember that, and now it doesn't matter. So yeah, no, it's going to continue until he goes off, which he will.
He's going to have 8 for 88 and a touchdown that matters really big in a playoff game against someone's favorite team, and everyone's going to hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting. It's probably going to be against the
Yeah,
Texans.
probably.
So I'm not saying shit, dude. I'm not
No,
saying shit.
have at it, Chiefs. Have at it, Swifties. Have at it, Travis Kelce fans. Monday night, we talked about this. I'm over the double header on a Monday night. I don't want it. I don't need it. It's not prime time if there's 2 games going on at the same time. It's just not.
That's what that's what I think is like it takes away the spectacle of prime time as like the only team playing. This is special. Everyone's watching us. Oh wait, no, there's another game going on that everyone's watching right now. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's no point to it in my opinion. It should have just been. I mean, can you imagine if you take out Jaguars and Bills and just have Commanders and Bengals as the number one, which it was the prime time game, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman
Yeah.
on it. But that one is just everyone would have been just talking about that one, which ultimately everyone was talking about that one. People didn't even care about the other one.
Yeah. Jags Bills. Bills win 47-10. I saw a tweet. Someone asked how much did the Bills pay this FCS team to play their team in week 3, pulling that out of the SEC's hat. But Josh Allen looked incredible. Everyone that was like, oh, Stephon Diggs is gone. What is Josh Allen even going to throw to now? It doesn't fucking matter. He's been the best quarterback in the league through 3 weeks. It's not even close. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's really fucking good, and I hate it. I hate every second of it.
Yeah, no, I mean he definitely proved me wrong. I was like, I think he's gonna take a step back this year. No, in fact, he's just becoming better because I think he's just having no Stephon is opening up more options, obviously. And I mean, James Cook is good.
Yeah.
They look great right now. They look great. So and the Jacksonville Jaguars, whom I don't respect, don't look great. And that's 47-10. That's what's gonna happen, buddy.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of numbers recently that Trevor Lawrence is closer to Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones of the New York Giants than he is to any other quarterback. I think Daniel Jones has 2 more touchdowns and 2 more picks and has more yards than Trevor Lawrence has in the last how many ever years that they've been in the league together. That's not good. Blake Bortles has better numbers and a better record than Trevor Lawrence ever had in Jacksonville, and everyone hated Blake Bortles except for that 1 year where they probably should have gone to the Super Bowl. They got fucked by the refs, legitimately fucked by the refs. Not even talking about the Chiefs like pass interference calls, legitimately fucked.
For sure, it was clear. It was a clear agenda that game.
It was rough,
and I loved it. I loved it. I didn't want the Jaguars to go to the Super Bowl. You kidding?
I didn't
me?
want the Patriots to go back to the Super Bowl again. I could have dealt with the Jaguars.
The lesser of 2 evils.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the Jaguars are dead. Trevor Lawrence has the biggest or the second biggest quarterback contract now after Dak Prescott signed. He had the biggest for a
Yep.
few weeks. Good for him.
Yep.
Good for your $255 million. Good for your bank account. Happy for
And
you.
Doug Peterson is already halfway out the
Yeah,
door. So
it's
they are. It's going to be another reset year for Jacksonville, man. I find that hilarious.
yeah.
Good job, guys.
At least they have their throwback jerseys coming later this season. Those are cool.
They're clean. They're
Those are
clean.
cool.
Yeah.
The actual
Those are
good game on
clean.
Monday night though, Commanders Bengals, the Jaden Daniels show. He looked fucking incredible, just awesome.
He looked awesome, man. Jaden Daniels was just he was putting on a show. He's performing. Their coach they had a great game plan for him. He was just making the 3 total touchdowns, making the plays, man. And Joe Burrow on the opposite side looked great
Yeah,
too.
he did.
I mean, it was a great shootout. It was a game with great calls from Joe Buck. It was a good Monday night
It
game,
was.
man. It looked great too. It looked great too. Like on with the uniforms
Yeah.
aesthetically, it was very pleasing. Very
I was
pleasing.
thinking the same thing. Jaden Daniels, 21 of 23, 254 yards and 2 touchdowns, 11 yards per catch there, basically. 91% completion percentage, highest in NFL history for a rookie quarterback. Pretty
Yeah.
fucking good.
And that throw to Terry McLaurin in the game to essentially win the game, amazing. That was an unreal throw from Jaden
And he had the other
Daniels.
one earlier in the game
Just
that went for
incredible.
50, 60 yards right on a
Yeah,
dime. And he ended up getting tackled like on the 2 or 3 yard line. But just an
yeah,
incredible display of athleticism. And behind the offensive line, that's not that good. It's just not. And he doesn't have a ton of weapons to work with. Like his running backs are fine. Austin Eckler had a fucking game until he got concussed and ended up having to go home. Brian Robinson Jr. is there, but Terry McLaurin's really the only person he gets to throw to. Luke McCaffrey is there. I wouldn't say he's like the best, but he's there. He's making do with not a whole lot as the number 2 overall pick, which means you were the second worst team in the NFL the year before. Pretty, pretty stellar. And then for the Bengals, Joe Burrow, I mean, he gets 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're like, wow, Joe Burrow's back. Doesn't matter. Their defense sucks. Their defensive line is awful. Their defense is just in shambles. It always has been. That's why they didn't win the Super Bowls, because they couldn't get a fucking stop to end the game. It's just like,
yeah.
this is who they are.
It,
They're going to
yeah,
lose games because
it's
of their
who they
defense.
are so far. They have drip and aura, and that's cool. Good for them. He dresses like he dresses stupid sometimes, and that's cool for good for Joe. Um, I like I like Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels so much, and I can't wait to. It's always cool to watch a dumpster fire of an organization, find their guy, find maybe their coach Dan Quinn doing pretty well, find Jaden Daniels on prime time, and he was waving at Bengals fans
He told
too,
him to go
telling them
home.
bye, told him go home, beat the traffic, and that's awesome. So good for the commies.
Yeah, I just prayed that this isn't another RG3 situation where we have an incredible rookie year, we end up in playoffs, and then something terrible happens to him. I pray to
He
God
takes
that doesn't happen, because Jaden Daniels is
he takes
fun.
big hits. He takes big hits. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's the same scenario
A lot
too.
of
Heisman Trophy winner goes number 2 overall.
At least they didn't have to trade up for him.
Yeah, I just everything's far too similar, and if it happens again, I'm so sorry that I put this out in the
Yeah,
into the
that'll suck
universe.
for sure. That'll suck for
That would
sure.
that would
But
be terrible.
Jaden Daniels, he will be good. He will be good.
Yeah, no, that was a fun game. Week 3 sucked in general.
I hated
There was
it.
like 1 or 2 good games for the most part. It was pretty rough.
It was just an attack on me. It was a terrorist attack on me personally.
Yeah, it was.
And I guess I'm looking forward to week 4. We'll talk about it pretty
Yeah,
soon. But week 3, I'm done. It's baseball season right
yeah,
now. I'm about to go to the game.
absolutely. Yeah, Astros win the AL West. Shocker. Who could have
Yes,
ever seen
sir.
that coming?
Uh,
Never a doubt.
a lot of people
Never a
didn't.
doubt. Never a doubt. The bookmark
Yeah,
season has been incredible on Twitter in the last
it's been
12
amazing.
hours. But yeah, that was week 3. Shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. They've got 13 locations all over Houston. They got great beer, great people, and great wings. So go check out Big City Wings today if you're in Houston. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you hit more or less on every stat, every player, every night, every game. We love Prize Picks. We love Big City Wings, and we love you for watching this episode of Play Action Takes. We'll be back with a Week 4 preview pretty soon here, later this week. And yeah, let's watch more football, even if it's disgusting.
Let's watch more discussing football. watch football. Go NFL.
This has been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast.